Okay, so take 3. I decided I would, okay, sorry, I'm deleting or turning off Facebook because last time, like, it kept beeping and it was really annoying me. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna make this as quick as possible because I've wasted like 30 minutes now recording the same fucking video. I'm giving a synopsis of where your story is starting and maybe like a session 0, a quick overview of the main villain, so that you can construct your character accordingly. I don't want this to be a game where everybody, frankly, where everybody has to be their own super special snowflake edgelord character. Um, I know that it's really fun to be like a tiefling warlock, chosen, bloodborne, whatever the fuck you want. But in this campaign, it's going to be more story focused, and the story is going to have a hard time making sense if you are a tiefling, chosen, bloodborne warlock from the planet Non. Um, so, if you would, I just beg of you, could you please just like be middle schoolers, or like maybe their dog or something that learns to talk once it comes to the Midnight Lands. Just, like, just work with me here. Like, I know middle schoolers aren't cool, but it's gonna be a cool story. Did you like Stranger Things? I like Stranger Things. Okay, so anyway, this story starts in the sleepy Wisconsin town of Sunnyvale in the 80s. And this is a town where nothing ever happens, and except for, strangely enough, since forever, that area has a higher than normal average of child disappearances. It's always been something that's kind of flown under the radar because, like, while there's more child disappearances there than other places, it's not like, you know, egregious. But the police, whenever they investigate, they blamed it on having a small police force. But whenever they investigate, they never find anything at all. Like, 0 leads, nothing. So, yeah. Recently, there have been more frequent disappearances. Most notably, one of your party members, well, y'all are all gonna roll. Um, y'all are gonna roll, or maybe y'all will draw straws. Whatever, we'll figure out. One of the party members will be chosen at random, and your little sister is missing. So, keep that in mind. So, the story starts at Sunnyvale Middle, where y'all will be sitting around the lunch table and discussing the disappearances. Y'all be discussing how the police aren't doing enough, or, you're frustrated, blah, blah, blah. Suddenly, the weird girl, Hattie, will come up to your table. Hattie's like, that girl who had no friends and used to talk to bugs? Like, that's Hattie. So, she'll come up to y'all and be like, nobody's going to find the kids. And naturally, you'll be like, what? And she'll be like, well, they've been taken by fairies, of course. And y'all will probably be like, Hattie, you're crazy. And she'll be like, no, there's the mirror in the top of the old museum that only works at nighttime. And everyone will be like, what are you talking about? So, side story, there is a old tower in the forest that's been there since forever. It's like historical. It's like a historical landmark. And like it's said to be haunted. But
is recording a video real quick. I'll talk after.
It's said to be haunted, but sorry, I got distracted. It's said to be haunted, but they still have tours during the daytime, but like nobody ever goes around there at night. And they'll be like, oh no, the spooky thing, that's crazy, like there's no such thing as fairies. And then Hattie will be like, well, fine, if you're chicken, then don't come with me to look for the kids, but I know where they are. and they'll be like, you know, there's no kids in the mirror in the forest, and she'll be like, well, if you're so sure, why don't you just come with me if it's so safe? So, blah, blah, blah. She convinces the kids to go to the forest. They sneak into the museum, go to the mirror. She pulls out a book. She says some weird words, and as she said, the mirror turns black and begins to like undulate like shit. I don't know. Yeah, it's a portal. So they go through the portal and enter the Midnight Lands. I'm going to give you a brief description of what they see, but I'm not going to go too far into it because I don't want to spoil the story. The sky is purple. The rivers are black. The sky is permanently in a state of twilight, like real gloomy twilight, and the trees are they all seem to kind of like move and talk and whisper as you walk by. So that's the Midnight Lands. Some lore on the Midnight Lands, since I'm sure y'all don't know because nobody knows what the fuck Shadow the Demon Lord is. The Midnight Lands were created when there was a fairy queen elf queen. Elves are fairies, but there was an elf queen called like the Queen of Dreams and Shadow, I think, and she got tricked by a human witch king, and his forces overtook the realm, which was once like very prestigious and beautiful. And in a last-ditch effort, the fairy queen basically like time warped everything. I don't know, like she zapped it so that like all of the magic that like held up the city disappeared, and it went back to like just forest, except like all the buildings were like strewn all over the place, and like all the warriors were dead, but like so was all the magic and stuff, or like the magical structures and whatever. There was pure bedlam for half-breeds. But so basically in the book it says that a bunch of the elves from her kingdom joined the Demon King. Like they left the forest and joined the Demon King for some reason. I guess it was easier to get revenge against humans that way. But the rest of them like started living like nomadic lives in the forest, and they hate humans, obviously. But no one hates humans more than Violet, the Rabbit Queen, who is this. She's an elf witch, and she came to power after her parents were killed in the war by humans, and yeah. So basically, she has like a chip on her shoulder about that whole thing, but she does love human children, especially little girls. Not in that way. There's no like pedophilia in this story. But so she like loves little girls, and if somebody gifts her a small child, especially little girls, she'll do basically anything they want for them. Nobody knows what's actually happening to the kids. They just know that they disappear and never reappear again. Violet's subjects, like her court, are mainly made up of shadow spirits, pixies, and rabbits, black rabbits with shining white eyes. She carries a rabbit around all the time named Chibi. It's black. Yeah. So she says that she's going to bring about the time of happiness where nobody is ever sad again. She's been known to say that, but nobody knows really what she's doing in there, in her castle. She doesn't really preside over anything. It's still just basically a forest now. But she can be seen throughout the land, like looking for like magical items and expanding her magical ability to some sort of end. She seems to have some sort of like goal in mind. So yeah, that's Violet the Rabbit Queen. If you have any other questions, let me know.